It's a Manchu. Welcome back to Minecraft Bedrock vs. Java, where I play through both versions of the game and compare the two. Today is going to be a little bit of a deviation from what I normally do. What I normally like to do with these videos is I like to make something in one version and then show you how to do the same or equivalent thing in the other version of the game. But in this case, I'm going to make something in Bedrock Edition that is only possible in Bedrock Edition. And I'm doing it because it's really OP, it's really powerful, it's a great source of experience. And I wish I could do something like this in Java, but I can't. And I won't leave you in suspense any longer. What I'm going to build is a zero-tick kelp farm. This will give me more fuel than I could ever possibly need, and more experience than I could ever possibly ask for as well. So, first of all, I need a pretty big area to build it, and I think I found a good spot right down here to build it in. The ingredients I'm going to need for it, I think, if I counted it correctly, I'm going to need 8 hoppers, 10 chests, 2 pistons, 2 sticky pistons, 2 smokers, a redstone repeater, 4 redstone torches, 8-ish redstone dust, I think. I might need less than that. 3 levers, 6 glass panes, 2 pieces of kelp, 6 pieces of sand, and some building blocks. I'm going to use polished andesite. Maybe add some chiseled stone bricks for accents. So that's the stuff I need. Let me get all this stuff here. Okay. I think I'll build it along this wall. It should work okay. Put a couple blocks right here. And a block here. I'm going to place the sticky pistons facing that way. If I check the map here, the orientation actually matters. I need it so that the pistons will extend toward the east or west. If the pistons were to extend to the north, it won't work. Don't ask why, I don't know. It's based on a bug. It doesn't have to necessarily make sense. Okay. Place redstone here. On top of that. Redstone torch here. A block on top of that. And then a repeater here. And that makes a nice little clock that will cycle, and use a lever here to deactivate that for the minute. One of the things about this that doesn't work in Java Edition, beyond, you know, the whole zero-tick kelp farm thing, one of the things about this that doesn't work is if I was to make this timer circuit in Java Edition, I've tried this in a test bed, and the redstone torch will burn out if this repeater is set to 1 tick. I'm not sure I understand why that is. It shouldn't work that way, but it does. There we go. Now I got all that powered and extends those. Now, actually think I want to leave that open. I'm going to place sand here, and then 2 high on top of the extended piston heads. Okay. I want to fill this in. This is a moment where I kind of wish I had scaffolding. I think I need to build some stairs so I can access up there. I gotta build this up a little bit further. I'm gonna have to disturb that fox a little bit. Okay, there we go. All right. So what's gonna happen here? The way this works, when I activate this, move back and forth, it's gonna cause, you can't really see it, but these blocks of sand will very, very briefly turn into falling blocks and then almost immediately turn back into solid blocks. And that causes the kelp to grow for reasons. I don't know. Don't ask me to explain it. It's based on a bug. It doesn't have to make sense. But in any case, that's another thing that won't work in Java Edition. The pistons, if I built this in Java Edition, the sand would fall off the pistons. It wouldn't stay on the pistons. It would kind of fall off and like fall down into here. And the timing of how pistons work is different between Bedrock and Java Edition. And there's that whole issue of, I leave this on 1 tick, this repeater, and this redstone torch would burn out in Java Edition, which it has to be on 1 tick for this to work. So redstone is different. There's so many differences between Bedrock Edition and Java Edition when it comes to redstone. I can make an entire video series just focused on the differences in redstone. It's the reason why people have trouble transitioning from one version of Minecraft to the other. If they do any redstone at all, any builds that they do with redstone in the version they're familiar with won't work in the other version at all. Alright, anyway, let's continue with this build. I need some space for the kelp to grow in. Oh, also, let me just put some temporary blocks here. And I need to have hoppers here. There we go. While I'm at it, let's put some glass panes here. Now let's put water up here and there. Plant the kelp. Trapdoors on top of there. I can access that if need be, and it may become necessary. Alright. Now let me plant a couple of chests. Like so. I have a feeling I have to move the steps back a little bit. Hang on. There we go. Okay. Now the Zero Tech Kelp Farm part is not ready yet. Oh, I missed something. I forgot something. Okay, hang on. I forgot a piece of this that's important. Oh, I'm a doofus. Yeah, that's kind of important. I need pistons there. I almost forgot that. Okay, that's better. Got the pistons in there. Now, put a redstone torch here. Block on top of that. Redstone torch there. On top of that. Redstone torch there. And then redstone dust there. Okay, I think that will do the trick. I think. See if I turn this on, see if it works. There we go. So now the pistons are firing and alternating. Hi! I did invite you here. I may have to wall off that cave. Anyway. Yeah, so you see the pistons fire, the bottom ones and top ones are alternating, and you see this kelp is growing and being broken off very quickly. I'm generating lots and lots of kelp. So this works really well. It's fine to AFK and like get a lot of kelp this way. I would recommend, though, not walk away from it while it's on. This does have a habit of breaking occasionally, and what can happen is the kelp on the bottom might break off. The sand might fall through down into here, in which case you have to break the sand blocks and place them back on top. That can happen. It should be fine, though, as long as you don't walk away from this while it's running. I would not recommend going away while it's running. Anyway, so that's the Zero-Tech Kelp Farm part of it. Now, for the experience part, I'm going to put some hoppers here. And that will lead to some smokers underneath there. It's very important to use smokers and not furnaces. Then some hoppers here. There we go. So all the kelp's getting fed into the smokers, and I can cook them up in there. Now, I'm going to need a little bit of fuel. Hang on a minute. So the way this is going to work is, anytime you smelt something in a furnace, you get experience for smelting it. And you collect the experience when you take the items out of the furnace, right? But what happens if you have a hopper that's just pulling everything out of the furnace as soon as it's smelted? Well, the experience isn't lost, it's kind of saved up. And there's a couple ways you can get it. One is you can break the furnace, and that will release all the built-up experience in it. As you can see, I just got a bunch of levels from doing that. And the first one here. Another way to get the experience is to power up the hopper. If you have redstone power going to the hopper that's supposed to be pulling stuff in the chest, it won't pull anything anymore. It will not operate when it's powered. And then as you pull items out of the furnace, you will get experience from everything that you've smelted through it so far. But you'll only get that experience once. And the way a lot of people will take advantage of a little bug that they can exploit on this is they'll make a setup like this and fill up the chest. Probably wouldn't use a double chest in this case, use a single chest, but fill up the chest with smelted items, fill up the hopper so it's totally backed up with everything smelted in it. And then as things get smelted, they pull things out of the furnace one at a time. And when you do that, you get all the experience for everything that's been smelted through it so far every time you pull something out. But if you ever take anything out of the chests, it kind of breaks it so that you don't get all that experience every time. That is if you use furnaces. If you use smokers, yeah, you can totally power the things. You can power the hoppers to deactivate them. Hang on, I gotta open this up a little bit. There we go. So I can flip these switches to power these hoppers and stop things from getting fed through, and then take items out and get all the experience for everything that's been smelted in there every time. But I'm going to let this run for a while, and I'm going to build up some dried kelp. I'm going to convert that dried kelp into dried kelp blocks, which can then be used for fuel, and feed it into this chest to give more fuel for the smokers. And give that a little time to build up the experience that's in the smokers. And you'll see exactly how much experience I get out of this. It's a lot. Alright, well, I've been at this for a while. Just sitting around, letting the kelp grow, I guess. And converted a lot of kelp into kelp blocks so that I have a decent amount of fuel right now. Not as much as I'd like, but the longer I sit here and wait, and the more I let build up in this chest, the more experience I'll get for it. But let's see where we're at now. I went and spent a lot of levels on useless stuff just to lower my levels and see how quickly I could get levels doing this. I went from 6 to 9 to 12 to 14 to 16. You can see it's very quickly getting me lots of levels. Like, lots of levels. And this isn't even at full capacity right now. If I just let the stuff that's in there finish smelting, I should get more experience every time. And just like that, I'm level 30. Now, another thing, just to confirm here. Collect all of that kelp. I'll make some more dried kelp blocks out of it for fuel. And throw it in there. And now, put those down again. Whoops. I'm still getting lots of experience. So pulling all that stuff out of the chest didn't hurt me at all. This is just grossly overpowered. Unfortunately, because it's based on a couple of different bugs, it's exclusive to Bedrock Edition. You can't make this in Java Edition. And it's going to put me in a little disadvantage in the Java Edition because it's just a huge amount of experience I get for this. And you can see in that short time, now I have 38 levels. It's crazy. It's ridiculously powerful. So now I'll be able to get all the enchantments I could ever want. I have a practically unlimited source of experience now. And if I go over and look at my supply of diamonds, about 18 diamonds. I don't think that's enough for a full set of diamond gear, but so next time my plan is to start working on getting some villagers and maybe have a trading hall. Then I won't need to mine for diamonds. I'll be able to get all the diamond gear I need. And depending how far I get along with that, I'd be able to show off some more differences between Bedrock and Java when it comes to villagers and trading with them. Next time, Anaman chooses Minecraft, Java versus Bedrock.